Hey guys, welcome to Get Better Project on Monday, May 9th. The level 1 workout for today is 24-minute EMOM, where minute number 1 is 8 dumbbell or banded overhead press, minute number 2 is 15-meter run, minute number 3 is 10 sit-ups, and minute number 4 is 15 banded rows. So it's a kind of a longer EMOM that we have today. EMOM stands for every minute on the minute, where each one of these movements should last you no longer than about 30 seconds. So we program these so they have the predetermined amount of rest involved in them. If they do last you longer than, let's say, 40 seconds, and you probably want to adjust how many reps or the weight depending on what you're doing for the movements so that you have enough rest to get ready for the next thing. So go ahead and look at these, make sure that they are appropriate for what you're doing, and then check out the description down below for the warm-up and all that fun stuff. And then we've got the coaching videos for each one of these movements coming up next. If you have any questions, let me know. Have fun. For a banded overhead press, you're gonna take your bands with the handles on. You're gonna take 1 or 2 feet and step on that band. I usually like to just do 1. I'm gonna curl the band up so that the bands are behind my arms here. And then from there, I'm gonna press all the way up overhead until I'm in a locked out position, and I return to the start position where my hands are at my shoulders, chest is up, abs are tight, and I'm going to be squeezing my glutes as well. So I'm gonna press up overhead and then return to the start position. Overhead and return to the start. You could also do this with 2 feet on the bands, and that might feel better with less rubbing on your arms, and that's totally cool as well. And lastly, if you wanted to make this even more strange or make it harder, you could do it with the band in front of your arm and then pushing back as you do this movement. This would be one that you would do in this fashion if the band was not heavy enough and you wanted to make it harder for you. Try it this way, you'll know what I mean. All right? So then when you're done, you're gonna reverse curl back down to the ground and then step off of the band, getting yourself out of the whiplash way. For running, one of my favorites, you're gonna put yourself in a great postural position, chest up, shoulders back, feet underneath your hips. And what you're gonna be doing from here is you fall forward from your ankles and then pick up your feet as you need to because of the fall, rather than pushing yourself off. So gravity is actually moving us forward and we're catching it as much as we can. There's still gonna be a little bit of a push off just to get our feet into the right position, but it's amazing how much you can use gravity in order to move yourself forward quickly when you're running. So everything stays aligned as you're running. Your hamstrings are what you're gonna try and focus on to pull your feet up off the ground rather than trying to push yourself off of the ground. So think of pulling yourself here. And then what you're gonna be doing is also thinking of striking the ground in your midfoot, okay? So right about there, rather than a toe strike or a heel strike. And the heel strike is really one that you don't want to do, even though we have these big heels on our shoes. What it does is actually slows us down every step, because if we're trying to fall forward, we're stepping like this, you can see that momentum is getting halted every single step if we're doing that. The other thing is that it puts a lot of stress on our joints. So we find that heel strikers have more injuries than people that are having a nice, solid, good strike. Then we're doing a really quick, fast turnover. So almost as fast as we can for a maintained period of time, because that's also been shown to have less impact on our bodies than taking really big strides. And it does make sense when you break it down with like how much weight and impact you're gonna have into the ground with a big stride versus a small stride. Then what we're gonna be doing is looking at our upper body. So we're gonna be acting kind of like a robot where we're trying to clean a big, thick piece of glass, just like this. And that's because we're trying to go in a forward direction rather than if we have over rotation. You see how it turns our body? We're not trying to go in that direction, in that direction, in that direction. We're trying to go forward in forward direction. So there you have it. There's the running technique. If you have any questions about running, I'd love to answer them. For sit-ups, we're gonna lay down on the mat here, all the way down, putting our feet together with a bent knee. I'm gonna touch above my head. I'm gonna throw my hands up and then follow my chest up until I can get up and touch the toes of my shoes. Then repeat the process, so touching the ground, coming up and touching the toes, and using my momentum to do so to get myself up and down out of the sit-up. For banded rows, you're gonna take a band like this or whatever band you have available to you. You're gonna put it around a solid object that is not going to fall over when you decide to pull on it. And what you're gonna do is make sure the band is nice and even. From there, you will go into a semi-squat position to give yourself leverage against the band, and your shoulders are gonna be slightly rolled forward. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna keep your chest up nice and high, and you're gonna pull the shoulders and the elbows back as the band is coming towards your abdomen. Then you return the band and the shoulders to the forward position, and then you pull back again. The idea is that you're gonna feel like you're trying to squeeze something with your shoulder blades as you pull this. So I'm trying to pull my shoulders down and back as I pull the band towards my abdomen, all right? You could do it, hold the band in different locations, like up or down. Most times though, people have a hard time contracting their lower lats, so I recommend pulling the band down, not down like this, but down with a bent arm towards your abdomen rather than towards your chest, where a lot of people keep tension and have more tendency to pull into this tightening position, and we want to pull down and back for the banded row. That's the workout for today. If you have any questions, let me know. Log your scores and sugar, and we'll see you on the next workout.